Regret rien in the Michelin Guide when. This is Life is Sweet.
What does regret rien translate to specifically as the...
No regrets.
And it's from a what's her name song,
Edith
right?
Piaf song.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Seen and Heard. This is the podcast all about the sight and sound greatest films of all time list. I'm Greg.
I'm Jackie.
And we have come back around to a personal print this week, which, if you don't know, is our way of saying we're picking a movie that's not on the list.
That we love.
That we love. And Jackie and I take turns. You did actually
Nights of
Cabiria 2 months ago. Yeah. I guess also apologies for our couple week break. We didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
And also apologies for saying that Nosferatu was next because we genuinely intended on doing it. But I got sick. My voice was all gravelly and hoarse and we couldn't record. And then by the time we could record, it was after Halloween. And we're like, well, now it feels weird to do Nosferatu. So we're going to save it for next year.
Yep. But this movie's not on the list. Is there a Mike Leigh on the list?
Not on the top 100. On the 250?
Nothing.
See,
oh, wait.
Oh.
No.
Secrets and Lies?
Janet Leigh.
Oh.
That came up for Psycho.
See, that's crazy
that is
to
really,
me.
And it's a British, yes, it's an international list, but the BFI is British.
Yeah. Arguably one of the most important British directors that has ever lived.
Absolutely. And I definitely think Secrets and Lies should be on the list.
Mm-hmm. There's a few you could pull. There's that. There's like Naked.
Naked is very iconic.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
It's really weird.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know.
That is wild. So this is a right that needs to be wronged for the next... it's a wrong that needs to be righted for the next Sight and Sound list.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. I agree.
So we're doing it here. This is my pick. I brought this in because I love this movie to death. But we'll talk about that in a second. Jackie, anything in the last couple weeks that you'd like to report?
A few things. But I think the most important thing is that I did rewatch Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I hadn't seen since you lent me your disc in 2019.
What did you say then?
I hated it. I hated it when
Honestly,
I saw it.
When you came back, you brought the disc back and you were like, this is trash. I respected you so much because there's such a stigma around like someone showing you a thing or someone lending you a thing and then being able to come back and be like, this is trash. No, that's good. And I was like, okay, cool. Because a lot of people, if you might like lie about it, like, yeah, it was okay. It was.
No, I really didn't like it.
But you were just like, it's trash. And I respect you for it. Anyway, continue.
But this time I was seated and I was glued to the TV. Like it was like, I couldn't look away.
Wow.
I loved it. I think it is so good. I think it's something everyone should watch around Halloween.
What changed, do you think?
I'm just more mature, I think. And I like more outrageous stuff. Like this movie is like, it goes at 100 miles per hour the entire time. And that's crazy. And I feel like the costumes, the look, the feel, the editing is incredible. And the way that like things are kind of juxtaposed together and like there's like double exposure and like this is here and that. And he's kind of in the shadow, but he's not. And he's like, it's an erotic thriller. Like I don't even remember it being like that. Everyone is horny. Everyone wants to have sex at every moment of this movie, which I just think is amazing.
Yeah.
For like a Dracula movie. Like
yeah.
It's
The cast.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's so good.
I know, it's so good.
It's a top 3 Coppola for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the big one for me.
Amazing.
I saw a bunch of stuff because we haven't seen each other in a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, those were my highs.
Well, because we were just coming out of the Halloween season, mine are mostly horror movie picks too. I'll just go with the first watches. I saw In the Mouth of Madness, the John Carpenter movie, which is one of his later, like, I think it's like 95 or something, 94, 95. So it's like, if you know John Carpenter, he kind of took a dive at a certain point, and this is supposed to be like one of his last good movies. And I enjoyed it. It's pretty batshit. rewatched Halloween night, actually, I spent with Herzog's Nosferatu. And God, it's so fucking good. Oh my God. And then last, this is my first November movie, I think, is I did Bottle Rocket, which I haven't seen in like 20 years. I really like it. You know, it's like refreshing coming off of like the new Wes Anderson, which I don't like at all, going back to when he just made fucking movies. You know, there's something really refreshing about watching it. I laughed through most of the movie. It's really funny. And he's just making a movie. It's before he like turned everything into a fucking dollhouse. So yeah, that's me.
That's cool.
Yeah. Should we get into this week's film?
Yes.
From 1990, this is Mike Leigh's Life is Sweet.
Life is Sweet was released in 1990. It was written and directed by Mike Leigh, cinematography by Dick Pope, music by Rachel Portman. The film tells the story of a working-class family in a London suburb. The father, Andy, a chef at a catering facility, buys a dilapidated food truck with the dream of fixing it up and making more money. The mother, Wendy, is a good-natured but giggly saleswoman in a baby clothing store. Their twin daughters are Nicola and Natalie. Natalie is a tomboyish plumber who gets on well with her parents. She's getting ready for an upcoming holiday in the US. Nicola, on the other hand, is fidgeting and bulimic. She snaps at anyone who talks to her and wants nothing to do with anyone or anything. She refuses to eat dinner with her family and instead binge eats candy at night, then forces herself to be sick. Aubrey is an awkward and fumbling family friend who is opening a restaurant, the Regret Rien, named after the famous Edith Piaf song. When his waitress cancels on him right before opening night, Wendy volunteers for the job. Meanwhile, while everyone is at work, Nicola's lover comes to see her. He grows tired of her kinky demands to tie her up and lick chocolate sauce off her body. When he tries to engage in regular conversation, she shuts him out and he leaves. Opening night at the Regret Rien is a disaster. No one shows up and Aubrey gets belligerently drunk, strips out of his clothes, and flips tables over before knocking out. Wendy finally confronts Nicola about her lack of drive and motivation to support the many causes she claims to care about. Wendy reveals that she and Andy had to give up on their dreams to have the twins when Wendy became pregnant as a teenager. She also reveals that Nicola's eating disorder nearly killed her. Nicola insists that her family hates her. Wendy, frustrated, proclaims that they love her. At work, Andy slips on a spoon and breaks his ankle. Wendy convinces Nicola her dad wants to see her, and Nicola finally comes downstairs and has tea with them all. The film ends with Natalie telling Nicola she should come clean to her parents about her bulimia and get some help. Nicola then graciously accepts money from Natalie. The film stars Alison Steadman as Wendy, Jim Broadbent as Andy, Claire Skinner as Natalie, Jane Horrocks as Nicola, and Timothy Spall as Aubrey. The film also stars David Thewlis as Nicola's unnamed lover. Mike Leigh had to cut many scenes with the lover and was so upset about it that he cast David Thewlis in the lead for his follow-up film Naked in 1993. This was Mike Leigh's third theatrical release. He had a career as a television director, like made-for-TV movies, but this was truly his breakout. It kind of gave him international attention. Mike Leigh was married to Alison Steadman at the time they made this film. They made 7 films together. They have 2 sons. And she was also in several of his plays. Mike Leigh's filmmaking method involves assembling a cast and a few ideas for a story, and crafting the script based on improvisations and characters created with the actors. Timothy Spall, for example, and Mike Leigh came up with all of the disgusting food on the menu for Regret Rien together, and then they took it to a chef and were like, could any of this actually be served? And the chef kind of like fixed it up a little bit. But yeah, it's a truly collaborative form of filmmaking. And the film was shot on location in Enfield, which is a suburb of Greater London. It used locals for extras, like in the dance class opening scene. And the film premiered at the or I don't know if it was the premiere, but it was at the London Film Festival. And then it was so successful. It went to Toronto and several other film festivals. And positive reviews all around, and kind of established Mike Leigh as this, contender, if you will. But that's all I got for Spec.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You'd seen this before, right?
Yeah.
This is your second time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw this year. So it was nice to revisit it so soon. Yeah, it's just, it's a film that's so full of life and it's so rich that you could really watch it over and over again and not get sick of it. Find new jokes and new things about each character. I love it. I think he's a genius. I think his method is a genius, and it's like on full display here. And it just the results of doing that, of working like that. Like, you can't write this. Like, you can only come up with this through improv and then write it down later. You really can't write this dialogue. Like, I think it's impossible. And so to pull it off the way that he does is just amazing.
Yeah.
And this one is just really interesting because at least in Secrets and Lies, there's a little bit of like a family melodrama thing going on there. But in this, nothing that happens in this is even remotely out of the ordinary. Like, everything that happens in this movie could happen to anyone like casually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just to be able to pull this off as like an entertaining piece of work is just incredible. Yeah, I think it's just a beautiful little optimistic film about dreams. I do think it's optimistic, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I also didn't even realize the first time around that the whole movie is about food. I never realized
It's
that.
even in the title, yeah.
Sweet, I guess, but that could be in anything.
There's a poster of them where it's the two daughters and they're in front of a giant donut. That's one of the posters.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. But what are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, so like I think this was my second or third Mike Leigh movie, and I had trouble with him. I think Naked was my first one, because I think especially being a boy of a certain age, it was like, oh, you got to watch Naked. It's like if you haven't seen Naked, it has the reputation is that almost out of like a 90s Clockwork Orange or something, about this terrible guy played by David Thewlis that goes around and kind of terrorizes people. And the first time I saw Naked, I didn't like it. And I was like, and it's also such a bummer. Like, it's such a bummer.
So intense.
Yeah.
So dense. That script is so dense. Like, they're just talking for, like, anyway.
Yeah, he often goes on like philosophical rants
that are
movie.
Like a minute and a half or 2 minutes long.
So I saw that and I didn't really connect with it. And it's just a very unpleasant movie. David Thewlis is great and I do love him. And then I think I saw part of Meantime, which was one of Mike Leigh's first films, and it has like a very young Tim Roth in it. And
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, yeah. And that, I think I only saw like half of it because it's also a huge bummer.
That was made for TV.
It was made for TV, and it's just depressing. And I think I turned that off halfway through. I mean, this is like 10 years ago. I turned it off. I was like, I'm not into this. And I kind of was like, Mike Leigh's not really for me. And then one day I was like, okay, I'm going to give another a shot. And I think this is pre-Criterion Channel. I think this is when Hulu used to have the like Criterion movies. And I was like, okay, let's watch this one. I don't know anything about it, but like, I'm going to give them one more shot. And then this one just like sung for me because there's two Mike Leighs. There's the Mike Leigh that revels in the completely dour and miserable lives of people like Naked. And then there's the Mike Leigh that made Happy Go Lucky and Topsy Turvy and this. And I think what I like so much about this is that it is almost this like perfect amalgamation of the two Mike Leighs. Like, it's very funny. It's very light on its feet. It's very watchable, but you still have all that tragedy underneath the surface.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah. And the way that I realize that this is the kind of thing that I'm constantly drawn to are movies that exist on that knife's edge of like really, really funny, but also really sad. And I think when you're able to pull those two things off together, it's kind of like a magic trick.
Yeah.
Because usually a movie's like more one than another. And I do think this veers more into the comedy than it does like the tragedy. But the tragedy in this, it's something like Naked, a lot's at stake. Like people's lives are at stake. Terrible things.
Raped.
Yeah, terrible things happen to people. And I think in this, the worst thing that happens is a guy has an unsuccessful first night of his restaurant and gets drunk and like smashes a few tables. And like, I think it's like what you were saying, the relatability of it, of like all these things have happened to us or people we know, I think gives it its charm. And I just like how effervescent it is. And you're right. Like I've seen this movie many times and I still find new lines that are hilarious to me, or like, because it's so rapid fire. The script is so rapid fire. Everyone talks so quickly. And it's so fun. It's so fucking funny. Like, and people will throw lines away, and then you'd be like, "Wait, that was hilarious." Like,
I know. That's why, like, and it's kind of hard to understand them.
Yeah.
So I have to like rewind and like really listen sometimes. Like if I miss something, I'm like, no, I want to hear what they just said, and I rewind it.
Yeah. So this opened Mike Leigh up for me, and since then I've seen most of his like, iconic movies, and I'm a huge fan of his, and I went back to Naked, and I do like Naked. I like his more dour movies too, but like I think I've seen Naked twice, and I've seen this like 10 times. So it's like
10 times?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
I watch this movie pretty frequently. Because sometimes when you're in the mood for it, it's not even just like, oh, I'm in the mood for a Mike Leigh movie, because I'll put on like, if that's the case, I'll do like Secrets and Lies or something. This is a very specific, like when I'm craving Life is Sweet, like nothing else will do, because it's so like singular.
Absolutely.
And I know he actually doesn't like this movie.
Why?
I don't know. I think he thinks it's like his worst movie or something.
No, he said that. I read somewhere he said that about there's like I think they did like a filmed version of the play, some play that he directed, and what's her name? His wife at the time, Allison Steadman, is in it. He said that's his least favorite movie.
Oh, okay. I'd heard that he doesn't like this.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so hard to believe.
If that's the case, well, it goes to show you that like I don't think filmmakers or artists in general are always the best judges of their own work.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Where do we even start here? I mean, I think like when I was watching this, I remembered the speech at the end that Wendy gives. And I know I'm kind of starting at the end, but I feel like that's kind of the whole movie. And it's like, I didn't remember that they were 16 when they had the girls. But I do remember that speech, and I remember it being really impactful. And just this like whole Wendy and Andy and the truck, like I think the fact that they're still like trying, let's say, because that's how she describes it. That's the heart of the movie, and like they're funny and they're still kind of hot for each other after all these years.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key to this whole movie, is that speech at the end. And like, because you're kind of watching it and you're like, okay, I love that this is just so mundane and it's kind of depressing because of that. But then like, they're so happy.
Yeah. Like it's not that they're simple people, but they just like don't need a lot.
Yeah. And like, and that's a turn, like when she gives that speech, like that is kind of a turn at the end, because when he gets the truck, exactly, I was like, oh, this is tragic. Like knowing he paid so much for it. He even lies to her about the price, which is so funny. And then that's the thing, hearing Wendy at the end in that speech say like, look at your dad, like that stupid truck, that's him trying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this thing I thought was a symbol of like broken dreams is actually a symbol of hope, which I didn't catch. Like I didn't, but even this time around, even though I'd already seen it, when he gets the truck, I'm like, damn, that's sad. But then at the end, when she says that, I'm like, yeah. And if you think about it, it's kind of the same thing with the girls, because then Nicola gets into that whole thing of like, oh, like you had to give up your dreams for me. Like, why do you hate me? And she goes, but we love you. And that's kind of the same thing as this truck. Like, it's like, it's so interesting and it's so beautiful. And it's just, I see it as very hopeful. Like, I see the movie as like super optimistic.
I think it's optimistic. I don't know that it's super optimistic, because I do think the movie doesn't believe that Andy will ever successfully open up this like food truck.
But I don't think it matters.
Right. It's more about that he has this like carrot in front of him. Like I think these are almost characters where their dreams keep them going, but they're never going to actually fulfill them.
Yeah. Well, Natalie's going to the US.
I mean,
on holiday.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like I think it's maybe hopeful.
It's hopeful.
More than optimistic that they'll succeed. It's definitely hopeful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the whole movie too, it works for your everyday life, but also the outlook of the movie works for just like being an artist.
Yeah.
And like whether you make it or not.
Yeah, definitely.
Or does the pursuit in itself, is that enough for you, you know?
Exactly. And Wendy is so like to me she's the eternal optimist.
Yes. She laughs her way through everything.
Everything. And I love how she loves babies and kids. Like she's teaching that class at the start and then she works in a baby store. But then I was thinking about it when it was done and like she was watching her own child like go through that. Like that's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's super heavy and they joke about it. But then in that speech at the end where she says like we thought you were going to die, like that's intense stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just so good.
Yeah. Well, what I love so much about it is that and this is my favorite Mike Leigh movie by a long shot. Really? I think for me, this is everything that I like about him as a director in one movie, like perfectly done. And that's not to say that he doesn't have other great movies. I mean, even like from last year, Hard Truths, he's still making really good work. And that's incredible because he's like in his 80s. And but I love the way this movie starts as such a kind of I don't want to say ridiculous comedy, but the comedy is firing fast from the onset. And even like the titles of the movie, like the main title is kind of this like comical looking font and stuff. And it's like her teaching this like little kid dance group or whatever. But like the fact that the movie is able to hurl at you all these jokes and keep it really funny. And there's people like Timothy Spall coming into this movie where he is a cartoon character. But then the movie's able to make them all feel like real people. And
it's that able type of person exists.
Yeah, he exists. Yeah, I know.
He's a cartoon character, but he exists.
Yeah. He's so good. And I was almost him for Halloween this year because I love his with the pineapple and everything and the hat and those like big red framed glasses that he wears. But he's so like, oh my God. He's like, I mean, there's a lot going on in this movie and this is kind of my favorite thing that they've been in. Like even Jim Broadbent, who like, I've always loved him, but he always plays these like really ridiculous characters. Mm-hmm. And he's ridiculous in this, but he's grounded.
Yeah.
And
real person.
It's just like there's a sadness, but then there's like this, he's beautiful. Like there's just, the whole thing. But Timothy Spall is like the whirlwind that comes through this movie. And I feel like kind of disrupts everything for a second.
He's like repulsive, but I also like pity him. Yeah. And he's just so funny. Like I cannot resist.
How did they come to this character? How did Mike Leigh and Timothy Spall invent this character? Because I feel like he would start to do this and he'd be like, whoa, that's way too much.
Exactly. For this movie.
Yeah, but they do it and it works.
It works. It works perfectly fine. I love when he comes in and Nicola, of course, is saying something about like being fat and he's like, what is fat? It's all in the mind.
Every line that he says, that Aubrey says, it's like he just said the most genius thing ever, where he's like imparting this knowledge.
Yeah.
He looks so pleased with himself every time he says something.
And like...
And he compliments her kneecaps.
I wonder if this movie is funnier to us because we're not British. Do you think? Because truly every word that comes out of most of their mouths is like hilarious to me.
I mean, I think the British accent might help because Mike Leigh always makes movies about, I've never been, so I don't know neighborhoods and everything, but this specific suburb or whatever of London where everyone has this very specific accent. That's like most Mike Leigh movies. But there's movies that he makes in this neighborhood where people are not, like it's not a laugh a minute and I'm not laughing through it. I think this movie's just genuinely really fucking funny.
Like when they pull up to the restaurant and the sign says tray exclusive.
Tray exclusive, yeah.
And then his ridiculous decor inside, the stuffed cat.
The stuffed cat.
And they're like, oh, it's going to smell. You can't put that up. What smell? It's stuffed. It's like
the accordion and hanging the bird cages.
That's the street. And then that's music. That's the war.
Yeah. He's so pretentious. Even down to his food choices. But that's the funny thing about him, because he's such a just like dumpy loser.
Yeah.
But he's like really pretentious and thinks he's like this. Like when he's talking to like the sous chef lady and he's like, I'll teach you things you never dreamed of. Like,
I can't. It's so funny with Paula. Classic nose. He goes.
Yeah. Classic nose.
And then the way he like puts his tongue in her ear and she kind of just like bends down and lets it happen.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's too much. And then when he hears that his waitress is not coming and he's like, and they're like, what did they do? And he said they're going to Prague. And then he said something like, and then they piss off to Poland. Like he completely just gets like the wrong place.
That's right. Yeah.
And then he like he puts out all the candles and he's like, fuck.
Because he can never get them the same height because he keeps forgetting to blow them out.
And then he says like, if I ever see her again, I'll slice her face off. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
He's very temperamental and he like, you know, he loses his cool a few times.
I'll stick a knife in her guts.
Yeah, like he says crazy stuff.
I think that's the charm of the movie too, is that you have these moments of like, Jesus Christ. They're not frequent, but when they happen, you're like, oh my God, like there is such a darkness under all of this.
Yeah. Like
he's not an okay person. He's not okay.
I don't think he's okay.
No,
I love when she comes in her outfit to be a waitress and he's just complimenting her. He's like, you look amazing. You look really great. And he goes, you're superb. And then he like walks away. But his face is just like.
Those nods he does.
I can't. It's too.
Like his mouth
funny.
is open.
His mouth is always open.
Oh, yeah. It's so good.
And then of course he just loses his shit. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah, it all comes to a head for him.
Oh my God. And then Paula's like actually upset. She's like, he said we were going to go out for chips later.
Yeah. And she's like, I'll buy you chips. She's like, I don't want
your
chips.
Like, why did and it just shows that Paula is so sad and lonely to want him so bad. Like it's dark. It's
dark. And obviously the stuff with Nicola too.
Let's talk about Nicola. It's just like, listen, I think
in some ways Aubrey and Nicola are like the real heart of the movie because they're the people experiencing the most pain.
I still think like Wendy and Andy are the heart of the movie. I think these two are the ones that are the most in pain, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think Jane Horrocks, who plays Nicola, probably like one of the most impressive physical performances I can think of.
Yeah.
Truly. And I think like in a movie stacked with amazing performances, like even including Timothy Spall, I think I think she takes the cake, honestly.
Yeah. Well, she does not talk like that. Her voice does not sound like
her
that.
voice, her fidgeting, her messing with her hair, her eyes, her eyebrows. Like it's all just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And like this idea that she wants to be political, but she has like no drive, no energy, no will, and she has this eating disorder and she's cut off from like any human connection. It's really tragic. Like if you think about it, it is so tragic. This is a person who wants nothing to do with anything or anyone.
Yeah.
She's just a shell of a person. But it's so funny.
Yes.
She is.
Because she's so disgusted by everything.
So funny.
Yeah.
I know. Because it's like the insults she's spitting out don't even make sense.
Like when she calls Wendy a whale.
And then Wendy's
she's like, at least I'm not sitting there like some beached whale.
And Wendy's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. She laughs it off, yeah.
It's so funny. But it's like, they tell her, I forget, like she doesn't open the door for Patsy.
Yeah.
And Wendy's like, you're an awkward cow. And Nicola's like, don't be sexist. How is that that like some of these don't even make sense. How is that being sexist?
They're just words that she uses.
Exactly, because she's like, I want to be political. I want to be this, but like I have no idea. Or like when she lets in Patsy and they tell Wendy, they're like, why did you let him in? And Wendy was like, what was I supposed to do? And Nicola's like, fascist.
Yeah.
What? How is that being a
Racist.
fascist?
Yeah.
Oh, that one's hilarious because she says yanked.
Yeah.
Because Natalie's like, do you think when I get off in America, I'll just be yanked by some man? And it's like, did you hear me? I said yanked for America. And she's like, racist?
Yeah. So good. It's so good.
Really good.
Nicola, I think, is a character out of like Naked. She's the character out of the dark side of a Mike Leigh
for
movie.
Sure.
But
for
she got
sure.
plopped into this unusually cheery one.
Exactly.
And I think like if Nicola didn't have her family, she's toast. Like she would spiral.
She would die.
She's in a horrible place. But because she has the support system around her of this movie, you know, she does come off funny.
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then like when they're like, I think Natalie is like, I hope you didn't pay more than 10 quid for that.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, well, I paid more than 10 quid. And then Nicola's like, Tori. Tori is just like I believe it's just like a conservative, like British person.
Yeah, she has all this anger and nowhere to direct it.
So funny. It's really, and then with her lover, who's played by David Thewlis, it's so good. And it's like, it is sad. If you think about it, like, what she's asking him to do is like really sad and disgusting, but he's so funny and it's so funny, and the act of it, and he's like, I'm gonna puke, I'm full, I can't, like, it's so funny.
Yeah, she's just like mad at him.
And he does that Donald Duck voice at the end.
Yeah.
He's so good. He's so good in it.
Well, he's one too. Like when you first meet him, you're like, oh, this guy's so sleazy. But then you're like, no, he's trying to help her.
He wants to talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's Nicola's whole thing about men, and she's like, oh, men are bastards. and she goes, it's so funny, she goes, all men have got the ability to rape. And then Natalie's like, doesn't mean they'll do it. And she goes, well, they've got the desire. Like, that's a crazy thing to say, which makes me think maybe something's happened to her in the past. Like, it's like it's, I mean, I don't know. It's just hilarious. Even that conversation about rape is like hilarious.
Yeah. Well, and then when Natalie's like, I'm not going to get off the plane and immediately get raped and pillaged.
Yeah. And she goes, I'm not going to get yanked by some man.
Yeah.
And then she's like, racist.
I know. The fact that these things, like, because she probably was assaulted at some point. Like, bad things have happened to some of the characters in this. And it's to the movie's credit that, like, when I think about this movie, I smile. I don't go like, oh, God, it's so heavy. You know, it's like, really, the fact that those are able to coexist in this movie is part of the genius.
Yeah. Well, it's also because it's just so, like, the mundane in this is just so mundane that it's like, it just kind of feels like a regular day. Like, it's like, and
yeah, because maybe it takes place over like 2 days. I think it's like a Sunday to a Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah. And the beginning, especially when she gets home, when Wendy gets home from her dance class, and they're talking about the porch and the patio, and she's saying, and Andy's like, oh, I'll get a trellis. And then she's like, I don't want a trellis. It'll look like a Chinese restaurant. And he's like, that's good. And they go inside, and the whole kitchen, toasty coffee conversation. And Natalie's just come back from shopping, and she gets that shirt. Yeah. Of course, it's a man's shirt, so they kind of make jokes. But
Nicola says it looks like a tea rag.
Yeah. But still, it's like, it's just such an ordinary, and it's all one shot. When they're in the kitchen, it's all one shot. It's an ordinary conversation, but we're still like learning about these people.
Yes.
And Andy is still saying like, oh, I'll do the patio, like, and Wendy's doubting him, like, can't get him right in, but you're gonna do it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people can probably relate, but my dad growing up was like, there's a lot of Andy in him, although I wish my dad was as funny as Andy, but like my dad was very much like the entire house had like half finished projects that he just like never finished.
That's just a real struggle, is to get housework done.
Yeah.
Like, it really is a struggle. And then he's got all his stuff in his shed, and he's like, I love these two. And they're I don't know, like little ceramic dogs.
Oh, yeah. Twins.
Yeah. And then he has that guitar that doesn't have a neck. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy the neck. I'm going to buy the strings. I'm going to do this whole guitar. And then he sings the mamas don't let your babies grow up. It's just, like I said, you can't write this stuff.
No.
It just comes up.
And then Patsy, who clearly just like is a predator, who just takes advantage of him because he knows he's gullible and that he'll go for things.
Exactly.
And even later when you're like, oh, they're just going out for drinks, he's like trying to sell him that little
miniature TV,
yeah.
that portable TV. And when they go out for the drinks, it's so interesting because like there's a whole conversation just about soccer, which has nothing to do with any like, and that's what I'm saying is like the way that he's able to capture the mundane, where it's like even the things that have nothing to do with anything work.
Yeah. And, you know, it is a slice of life movie, but I do think that this is almost a slice of life movie for people who don't like those. Because when you're reading, like when you were summarizing the plot of this movie, I was like, wow, a lot happens in this.
But also not really. Like we just see them go to work one day. They're just out
They're
work.
small things. They're small things, but they feel, I feel like this movie is more welcoming to people who aren't into that kind of thing than other movies are. Even other Mike Leigh movies.
Maybe because it's so funny.
I think
like it's not like Perfect Days, let's say, which is like a very mundane day to day. We just see his life, but that doesn't have like the comedy that this has. It's like
there's moments of like gentle humor in that, but
yes,
this is rapid fire. This is rapid fire.
But then also like we'll see Natalie just like go to the bar with her friends, and there's that beautiful shot. I think it's Andy. I think he's looking at her outside of his snack shop window, and she's just walking down the street, and she said like, I'm going for a drink. And it's so sweet. Like, she's literally just walking down and going to see friends. And then there's a scene of her in the bar with her friends. She's just, like, so content. And, like, it's really sweet.
Well, yeah, because none of them have... I mean, this is, like, lower middle class or even maybe, like, upper lower class. I don't know. But, like, they don't have a lot of means. But they are all so content outside of Nicola, like, the family itself, of just doing... Like, Natalie's a plumber. But she's happy.
Yeah.
And they still live at home. I'm guessing they're all in their early to mid 20s.
So I did the math because he said something about
they were born in 68.
They're 22. The twins are 22.
Yes, you're right. 22. Yeah, because I did the math too when he said you were seven when this was made, and that was 1975. So they were born in 68. Yeah, I did the same thing.
Because that's important. Because I wonder when I watch this movie, I'm like, how old are these girls?
Yeah. But no, it is like yeah, the family just functions well. And I think even you're talking about the scene where Natalie walks away, but prior to that, when her and Jim Broadbent are talking and he's just like, well, have a good time. Like there's so much love between them, even though they're kind of like taking the piss out of each other with all these like snide comments. They all really love each other and they work like as a family unit, and the household just like works. Like it's like the glue is just all there.
Minus Nicola, but yeah. When he does break his ankle and then he's sitting with Natalie, Wendy goes upstairs to get Nicola, and we linger on them for a second, and he's talking to her. He's like, oh, I've never had pain like that. Like it hurts so bad. And she's like, did it make a noise? And he's like, yeah, like when you snap a stick. Like it's just ordinary, like nothing special being said in that at all, but just like so real that it's like, oh, yeah, it's so good.
Absolutely. It's effortless. And I think too, Rachel Portman score.
Her music is,
it's the same theme played through different like incarnations. Like when they're at the restaurant, the theme is played like with an accordion.
And it goes into La Vie en Rose for a second when they pull up to the restaurant.
This is I think some people might find it repetitive how much she uses the same theme just again and again and again. I love it. I think it is the glue for this movie.
I love it too.
It kind of keeps it light too, because it is this
jolly kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a jolly little something.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say march. It's not a march. It's like a
jingle.
Yeah, it's just a little, But then when she plays it slow, it sounds sad.
Yeah.
Then you can play it a little quicker and it sounds, it's the fact that you can use that same little piece of music to different effect in the movie is really cool.
Yeah.
Sight and sound?
Let's do it.
What's your favorite sight?
It's probably the last shot of Nicola and Natalie sitting together. It's that, or it's the long shot of everyone in the kitchen when like their day is just starting. It's like, you want coffee? No. You want a toasty? Yeah. Like it's like, I love that shot too.
Yeah, that's so good.
What about you?
My favorite shot is just when Andy goes out to the shed for the first time and you kind of see him from like out the kitchen window and he's just
great shot.
Sitting there And they're talking about like, oh, he hasn't gotten started yet. Like, oh, he needs time. Like, and he's just like sitting there surrounded by the, his household chores, like the things he has to do, and he's just not doing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I think of this movie, then there's also like, I could have said an Aubrey scene, like that scene where Aubrey finally does collapse and like he's in his underwear and the camera's framed like right by his crotch, like looking up at him with like his really colorful underwear.
So
that could have been it too, but no, I just love. Yeah, I think when I think of this movie, I think of Andy in that shed.
Yeah, that's so funny.
What about your favorite sound? This is a hard one.
Impossible. No, like I love every single thing that's said in this movie. But it's probably Aubrey sitting there in the garden, tapping his knees, singing the Edith Piaf song.
Yes.
And the whole conversation that happens after. So here it is.
No regrets. No regret, Rion.
Oh, yeah, that's what I remember, yeah.
She sang it in French.
Yeah, she was from France.
She was thin.
She was thin, she was French.
Dead now, isn't she?
Yeah, she was a prostitute.
So? Shut up.
The sparrow.
Yeah, the little sparrow, that's right, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
And so just good. His singing.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Rude.
Oh man, it's just hilarious. It's so good. And it's so funny because he doesn't even say in that scene that that's what he's naming the restaurant. You don't know what the fuck he's doing until they pull up to the restaurant and that's the name of the restaurant.
Yeah.
Because the first time I saw it, again, that I don't remember that garden scene being so funny. But this time around, knowing that the restaurant was named for Rihanna and he's singing that, I was dying.
Yeah, it's so good.
I think that's my favorite.
It's really good. I mean, this is hard for me too because there's so many lines that do so much for me that are so funny. The score, obviously, I could say the score, but it's hard to pinpoint an exact moment that I like more than the rest. So ultimately, I mean, I think one of the funniest stretches of the movie is when Andy and Wendy go over Aubrey's house and he's like bouncing on the bed. He falls off the bed, and then while he's like on the floor, he like finds a hat and he goes, it's like a Disney
It's
hat.
a Mickey Mouse hat.
He's like, I thought I lost that. And he like puts it on. But my favorite sound is later that night in bed, Andy and Wendy are making fun of Aubrey, like they're imitating him. And this is what they say.
Hey, how about orthopedic? 500 quid, you know? Bouncing up and down on his face.
Orthopedic, you know?
Orthopedic, you know? Aww.
Don't you want to watch out for Aubrey in that kitchen? He'll come up behind you with a cucumber.
Listen, I don't think it'd be a cucumber. It'd be coming up behind me with.
Well, maybe you fancy him, I don't know.
Oh, you're joking. Not that desperate.
It's good.
It's so good. I love every time she laughs stuff off. The whale one is really memorable too. She's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Just her incessant laughing is so good.
I know. Because people actually do that. Again, it's like, it's such a character trait. It's like a fun, quirky character thing, but some people really do that.
Yeah. There's that great scene too where Wendy pulls out that frilly pink like sweater, and then her and Andy are both like laughing. These like, it's just like, oh, that's another thing. Like when I think of this movie, I just think about people laughing, like Wendy laughing and then Andy laughing on top of her, and then like the girls being like, oh God, like it's just so good.
And what does she say? It's so funny when they're talking about, I forget what they're talking. I don't know if they're talking about each other or they're talking about the girls as babies and how cute they were or whatever, or looking at the pictures. And Nicola's like, oh, get the sick bucket.
Oh, yeah. So good. I mean, there's just so many lines in this that you could just take and like frame.
Oh my God, it's so funny. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, this is normally where we do Pauline Kael. She did retire around this time, maybe a year or two after this, but I could not find a review that she had done of this.
Shoot.
So I don't know if it just wasn't on her radar or she's just winding down at this point. But
I wonder.
No Pauline Kael. I wonder what she would have thought of Mike Leigh. Maybe she reviewed one of his earlier movies. I'm not sure. But, okay, it looks like It looks like she did review his movie High Hopes from 1988, and that sounds like she liked it.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Great.
I think she would have liked this, right? I don't.
How do you not? Well, we're about to find out on Letterboxd.
Well, and this is one too. We did this for the film club, and everyone pretty much loved it. Like, I don't think there was a single person who was like, "Nah." I think it's a good introduction to Mike Leigh too.
Yeah, I think so. So
if you haven't seen Mike Leigh and you've listened this far, and you also have not seen this movie, I would say watch the movie.
Yeah. I love I think Secrets and Lies is also a really good intro to him.
I'd say those are both really strong ones. Or like Happy Go Lucky, I guess, is probably a pretty good one too. This movie definitely has some DNA with Happy Go Lucky, but yeah.
You know what? I'm looking at the poster right now on Letterboxd. I never noticed
the donut.
It's Natalie and Nicholas sitting on a donut.
Yeah,
that is so funny.
Letterboxd?
Yes. Okay. So the first Letterboxd review, it's a 5-star review. It says, right after this movie ended, we watched the entire thing over with director's commentary. And Mike Leigh literally ends it by being like, of all my movies, this is my least favorite. Thank you for watching. King behavior.
Yeah. No, I had heard that. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's so sad to me because this movie is so good. But hey, listen, everyone has their favorites, I guess.
5.5 stars. Forgot Thulis does a Donald Duck impression. More harrowing than entire runtime of Naked. It's such a good impression. How do you do that?
Yeah. Someone gave it 4 stars and said, great thing about Mike Leigh films is all the characters are constantly laughing at their own jokes, tripping over themselves, looking like huge idiots, and complete dorks in both their weakest and their most sincere moments. Adds a layer of realism most movies miss out on because Leigh doesn't care at all if his characters are cool. The anti-Baumbach.
Ooh.
I guess Baumbach characters generally kind of do think they're cool.
No.
You don't think so?
What about Meyerowitz stories? No one's cool in that.
Okay, maybe that's one.
But even kicking and screaming, I don't think they're cool. They're annoying, honestly. I love the movie, but they're annoying.
I haven't seen it. I actually have not seen it.
You haven't seen Kicking and Screaming?
No. I know.
It's good.
I think I even put it on one time and I turned it off and I just wasn't feeling it.
No, I wouldn't say Baumbach thinks he's
very
cool.
Hit and miss for me, Baumbach.
Yeah, but I don't think he thinks his characters are cool.
Someone gave it 4 stars and said, Mike Leigh is the master of making me laugh my ass off one second, then break my heart the next. The power of his films. Totally agree.
4.5 stars. Love when the main villain of the movie is a spoon.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
It's true. There's no villain. That would be the only villain.
Yeah.
Maybe Patsy. He kind of sucks.
Patsy sucks. 0.5 star. Ever wish to see the invisible line where comedy and annoying as fuck is? Well, aside from just about every Robin Williams performance, here you go. What the fuck? Shade thrown.
The fuck? That is crazy. Yeah, let's get some low ones in here. Let's see.
Another 0.5 star. They just be filming anything.
0.5 star. Girl, what?
0.5 star. The most annoying, most British thing I have ever had to endure in my entire life. I eventually had to put it on 2 times speed, and it was still not over fast enough.
Oh, just don't watch it.
How could you even? I feel like the dialogue in this movie.
You would not understand.
You would not understand.
1 star. An absolute stinker saved by the last 20 minutes.
What? How would the last 20 minutes save this for you?
I don't know.
Don't like the rest of the movie. Oh my God. I don't understand this review. 0.5 star. I don't know what to say about this. It's an okay movie for the 90s, but it left me with strange sensations.
What the fuck?
There's more. I'm not even
Maybe they wanted to do the chocolate sauce thing. Someone gave it 5 stars and said, feels illegal to see Jim Broadbent not playing an old man. Interesting. 5 stars. I know the Ozu comparisons are tired at this point, but it really does induce the same warm, bittersweet feeling. Ozu. Like maybe in intention, but not really in style at all. Like
no, but
just the intention of like, you know, family dynamics.
He's not a bad comparison just because he's also able to do stuff that's really funny, like Good Morning with those kids, where there's like fart jokes and stuff, and then he's able to do something really heartbreaking, like Late Spring or whatever. But the movies, I never thought of them together.
Never. But
they also do, both filmmakers kind of make movies about the same regions and the same kinds of families and a lot of the same types of stories, like over and over again. So actually, yeah, maybe there's more there than I ever thought.
It's interesting.
Well, this was Life is Sweet. I'm so glad. I wanted to do this for a while.
Great movie.
Yeah, it's so good. And I was just
so
like,
good.
yeah, I feel like coming out of the horror season, I was like, I just want to do something that's like light, but not too light, and something that's funny and kind of cozy. This movie's strangely very cozy.
I think it's cozy because they're always like eating, having tea. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just delightful.
It is.
It's delightful while still being real. You know, it's not like an escape. It's like,
no,
and I think that's why I like it so much.
probably.
Because you can get it. There's a hefty, meaty movie in here, but there's also a really light, funny one.
Yeah. We never see Nicola outside the house.
She opens the door once. Yeah, you're right. Well, she's in the backyard once at the end.
But I just mean like she never leaves the premises. They all leave the premises at one point.
Yeah, you're right. Well, that's part of her whole thing is like...
Yeah.
She...
I heard this budget was £1 million.
Oh, okay. That seems right.
Yeah.
For 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Well... It was cool to do a personal print again. You did Kabiria, I did this, so we've done them recently. They're nice and fresh after like a year of not doing personal prints. So yeah, try to correct some kind of wrong that there's no Mike Leigh on the 250.
Exactly. That is crazy.
250.
That is really crazy.
I don't want to say he's obscure because he's not obscure, but what the fuck is that about?
I agree.
What the fuck?
I agree.
That's insane.
It is insane.
Maybe because people can't all agree on like what the greatest Mike Leigh movie is. Like if he had his like one movie where you're
Secrets and Lies. That's
or
the
Naked.
one.
I feel like those are the two that get the most attention.
Yeah, but I feel like Secrets and Lies would be the one. If there's going to be one on the list, I feel like that would be the one.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That movie, like...
I would say after Life is Sweet, my next favorite is Secrets and Lies.
It just... Oh my God. It's so good.
And then
we should do that. We should do that for a personal project.
I mean, that's so good.
I'd do that.
And then this one's a little more under the radar, but he has one from the early 2000s called All or Nothing. And Timothy Spall is in it. Lots of people. And you know who's in it is like James Corden is in it. And I mean, he plays Timothy Spall's son.
Oh my God. I could see that.
And it's really good. But it's like, imagine Life is Sweet, but just all the depressing stuff. That's what that movie is.
Oh, there's another film that came out in 2010, I believe, that I didn't see. Is it 2010? Jim Broadbent again, and it's this couple that's
another
retiring.
year. Yes, it's incredible. And Leslie Manville is in it. That's a great movie. That's up there for me, for Mike Leigh too. Yeah, another year.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah. We'll be back next week on our normal top 100 shenanigans. It is Celine and Julie go boating.
How exciting.
So I think that'll be our first. That's Jacques Rivette, right? I think it's Rivette.
I think so.
It's been our first Rivette on the show. I
haven't seen it.
I've seen it, but it was a long time ago. It is Jacques Rivette. I saw it a long time ago. So come back, join us for that. Until then, I'm Greg.
I'm Jackie.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Seen and Heard is an official podcast of the Arroyo Film Club. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to drop us a line, you can find us on email at hello@seenandheardpod.com or on Instagram @seenandheardpod.